Alright YouTube, what is going on? It's Hightower 5000 here today, bringing a 1 to 99 cooking guide. This video is going to be a members only cooking guide, and what I'll be showing you in this video is the fastest and the cheapest ways of getting 99 cooking in Runescape 3. For me, 99 cooking probably has to be the easiest 99 to get in Runescape, just because it takes a small amount of time. It's probably not the fastest 99. Some more viable skills, for example like Herbler, might be a little bit faster. But cooking is quite fast, and also if you play it right, it can cost you nothing or you can even make profit, which I'll be showing you how to do in this video. Alright, okay, so before we actually get into the 1 to 99, if you want you can go ahead and skip ahead to the section that matters to you. I'm going to be covering every single thing about cooking, so this guide's actually going to be quite in depth. Okay, so first of all, moving on to the notes, so I want to cover 3 things before we get started. The first thing I would recommend anyway, definitely if you're at a higher level, is obtaining yourself some cooking gauntlets. These can be obtained by completing the family crest quest. I do apologise, I've already completed this quest, so I cannot make a guide on it. However, there's quite a few good guides out there on YouTube. Most fish will actually stop burning at a certain level. I'll go into this in more detail when we actually get onto what we're going to be cooking from 1 to 99. However, if you have these cooking gauntlets on, and basically that level is lowered, so say for example sharks, you stop burning them at level 94, I believe that's then lowered a bit to 93 or 92. In the long run that will help you because it means you will burn less fish, which means you save a little bit of money, and also your experience per hour will not drop. Alright, okay, so next thing I want to do is talk about presets. Presets mean that you can withdraw items by just clicking one button. As you see down here, basically at the bottom of your bank where it says all your items here, if you come along where there are the 1 and 2s, these mean that if you click these buttons they will withdraw a preset inventory which you are prepared. Now to set one of these up, what you want to do, whatever fish you're cooking, say for example I'm about to cook some raw monkfish, what you want to do is fill your inventory up with raw monkfish. You then want to come here to the open preset setup menu. Once you come in here, you then want to create a new preset. To do this, what you want to do is either select option number 1 or option number 2, so what button you either want to press. I'm going to go with number 1. You're then going to come over here and hit the save button. Basically this is going to save what is in your inventory right now. You can then choose a name for it. I'm going to choose cooking obviously because that's what we are doing. Then hit the confirm button and then select option yes, I'm sure I want to update this preset. So for example now, if I was to go back into the bank, right, so say if I have these items in my bank randomly and I'm basically wanting to get some raw food out very quickly, all I need to do now is hit the 1 button. It fills up my inventory of raw monkfish and closes the bank for me, hence saving me a bit of time, which will help increase your XP rate per hour. Alright, so the final thing I want to do is talk about urns. Personally, I never used urns for my 99, not at all sure why. Obviously if you want the highest amount of XP per hour, then you do want to use urns. What I'd highly recommend doing is looking at the link in the description below the Wikipedia page and working out your crafting level and your cooking level, and then working out which urn is best for you. I believe there's 5 different levels of cooking urns which you can choose from. What I'd recommend doing is buying them off the Grand Exchange and then using a fire rune to make them active. I wouldn't recommend making them because this in turn will actually decrease your XP rate per hour. If you're wanting more detail on this, then please look at the Wikipedia article in the description below, as I do not know too much about urns. Alright, okay, so the next thing is locations. Location isn't actually too important until you get probably to about level 75 plus, so I wouldn't bother too much about that until you get to that stage. Locations I recommend training at are Bartholope World 2 is quite good. As you can see, there's a lot of people here. There's always a fire down here. Usually people are chopping down them trees. As you can also see over here is a portable cooking range. I'll talk about the benefit of them in a minute, but there's always a fire going on here. It's usually multiple fires, loads of people cooking, and obviously it's a one-click bank as well, so it makes it really easy to go ahead and get new fish out ASAP. Right, so the advantage of using a portable cooking range, which is this item here, is basically part of the portable sets which you can get from the daily treasure keys. You can also buy these off the Grand Exchange now, I believe. Basically you get 21% extra experience than you usually would. And you also get a 5% chance of getting an extra fish. Not at all sure how this works when you have a full inventory, but this in turn will increase your XP per hour by quite a lot. And the good thing is it's quite AFK as well, because as you can see in the bottom left hand corner it's actually got a second, so I don't have to look back at the screen for another 35 seconds at least, and I'm still getting quite a lot of XP. If you are looking to train on portables, portables are quite good. Obviously I'd still recommend having gauntlets on. I do not have mine on right now, but as you can see the player to my side here, if you look at these two people, they've got white gloves on. Those are the cooking gauntlets. They're making sure that they're not burning any food. But if you're interested on training on portables, then I'd highly recommend joining the French chat Portables. Basically it does loads of portable stuff, so it does portable ranges, you can find out where they are and then go to that location and train. They're sometimes in Bartholomew, sometimes in the Alcrid Shanty Pass, or also in Lumbridge where the one-click bank is at the combat centre. Just join in there and basically you can find out where they are. They also do other stuff like portable wells, for example, there's one over there, and also sawmills, which is what I use the clan for. Alright, okay, so another location I would recommend training, as I said, was at the Shanty Pass. Now if you come to World 100, this is different from World 2, which we're on at Bartholomew or Berthorpe. Then basically there's going to be a fire here. The advantage of training on fire is that because it's lit by a player, this must be a player lit fire, it gives you a slight increase on experience. It all varies per fish, so I'm not going to go into that in too much detail, but it does give you a bit of a boost. However, by cooking on fires there's also a slightly greater chance that you will burn food, so obviously if you have gauntlets though, that would be not too much of a worry. Also there's often portable wells and sometimes portable cooking ranges here as well. Of course you don't have to train at these locations, but sometimes it can also be very friendly. As you can see, there's a ton of people here, usually a lot of people talking. It just makes the skill a little bit more fun. Okay, so now that I've covered all the notes and locations, what I want to do is talk you through the first 40 levels. Now the first 40 levels, to be honest, you can really do whatever you want. For this whole guide it's basically going to be fish, because fish is the best thing to cook in the game. It's also a very good food source. I'd recommend buying all these fish off the GE, however because cooking you level it up at such a fast rate, you can quite easily fish all this stuff, cook it, drop it or eat it, because there is so little. Here combined basically you're not going to be cooking any more than 400 fish, if you do my method anyway, to get yourself to level 40. One or two things to note before I talk you through this is that I've not included gauntlets in this, because gauntlets at this level anyway are really pointless, because you will be burning fish a lot anyway. Also the fact where you see the brackets, that is where I put bonfires. So if you are cooking on bonfires, do remember you get a tiny wee bit of extra experience. So for example, normally for sardines you'd only get 40 experience, whereas on bonfires you would get 44. You can only work this out for some fish, I do apologise. The profit and loss as well, that is going to fluctuate a lot and change, all depends on the demand of fish. So if you do want to check before you go ahead and train, what I'd recommend doing is looking up the price of a raw sardine and then a cooked sardine, and then taking away the cooked from the raw, and that will be your profit or loss. Most fish actually surprisingly are lost. I thought a lot more would be profit anyway, but as you can see, for example, salmon are quite a good profit right now. Due to the fact though that you'll only be cooking a very small amount, then to be honest you will not be making a big profit or loss anyway. Final note I just want to say, the amounts might not be totally accurate just because you'll have some carryover XP from the previous level. What I mean by this is if you do 1 to 5 doing sardines, then you will actually get some extra XP when you cook the 10th or 9th fish. I didn't take this into account because I don't know if everyone will be using this exact method. You can have a look there and see what you want to do there. You want to start off 1 to 5 sardines, 5 to 10 herring, 10 to 15 mackerel, 15 to 20 trout, 20 to 25 pike, 25 to 30 salmon, and 30 to 40 you want to do tuna fish. You should be able to get this basically done within maybe an hour and a half at tops. You will be burning a lot of fish at this stage, so you might need to buy a considerable amount more. As I say, Grand Exchange is the best place to do this. And for example, if you do not want to change fish every 5 levels, for example, then maybe only change every 10, so do sardines from 1 to 10, mackerels from 10 to 20, pike from 20 to 25, and then tuna from 30 to 40. Alright, okay, so now moving on to the proper stuff, the stuff that you're probably really here for. Now this is the efficient method, I would say. This does look quite confusing, let me explain it first of all. So as you see here, there's a lot of brackets and forward slashes. The brackets mean if you are wearing gauntlets this time, or if it's under the XP section, it means if it's in the bonfire. So if you're doing the efficient method like me and you do not want to burn any fish, this is the method I exactly used to get to 99. When I got to 94 to 99 I chose sharks because it was a lot less of a loss. But what I did from 40 to level 68, because I had gauntlets, is I did tunas and I managed to get myself a wee bit of profit. You stop burning tunas at level 64, but I had gauntlets so I had 63. So from there on, which is the levels where you roundabout start to grind, probably from about level 70, I stopped burning fish, which that meant, of course, having gauntlets so badly needed if you're really going for 99. Why? Because you're not going to lose money on burning fish, and also your XP rate is going to be quite high per hour. So because I had gauntlets, once I got to level 68, I moved on to lobster. If you don't have gauntlets, then do not move on to lobsters in this efficient method until level 74. Then what you want to do is, for me, I trained them up to level 81. if you don't have gauntlets and stay on them till 86. And basically, okay, it was a bit of a lost lobster, but I wasn't having to cook too many of them anyway, and I was getting through it at quite a fast rate anyway. You stop burning lobsters at level 68 if you do have gauntlets, or 74 when you don't, and that's why I'm moving up to the next tier when I stop burning them. Because obviously as you move up from lobster to swordfish to monkfish to sharks to rocktails, okay, lobster's only a few hundred GP, but when you get up to, for example, rocktail level, they're near enough 2,000 coins. You can't be afford to burning them, and that's why I do not move up to the next tier until I stop burning them. So basically then what I did was when I got to level 81 and moved on to swordfish, if you don't have gauntlets, do not move on to this until you're level 86. I did that to level 90. However, I would actually maybe recommend, if you do not have a lot of money, as you can see there's quite a bit of loss anyway, if you move on to monkfish. So that's why I put /99, because you can go all the way to 99 with that. If not, you could always go all the way to level 94, because if you are to do monkfish for only maybe 2 or 4 levels, then you're actually going to get quite a bit of loss, because the loss per monkfish is 192 coins right now, which is quite a lot. Swordfish is a lot less. The XP rates per hour are not too much of a difference actually, so I'd maybe recommend staying on swordfish until I get to sharks, but you could always do swordfish all the way to 99 if you wanted to. I don't see why you would, but I put it in there just in case. Then once I got to level 90, I moved on to monkfish for 4 levels, which cost me a little bit, and in a sense I kind of regret, but you stop burning them anyway at level 90, that's why I moved on to them again. And then once I got to 94 fish, so sharks and rocktails, you cannot actually stop burning them without gauntlets. That's why I've got a not applicable thing, because you will always burn them if you're not wearing gauntlets, or there's always a chance that you will burn them. So if you're like me, what I did from 94 to 99, obviously with gauntlets, if you don't have gauntlets, then I'd probably just stick with swordfish all the way to 99, because you're not going to lose as much. If you have as much money to throw at this as possible, then of course maybe just go for sharks or rocktails, but do remember that you are going to burn quite a lot of fish and lose quite a lot of money. What I did from 94 to 99 was sharks, and I didn't lose too much money because it was only a loss. At the time it was actually a profit of 1 gold coin, which was really nice. Obviously times have changed in the past 2 years, so it's only a -6, but compare that to 166 for rocktails. Okay, it is a little bit faster, but overall when it adds up it's probably only going to be about an hour difference. So I'd highly recommend going to sharks 99. If money isn't a problem and you just want to go ahead and go and get it, then go ahead and do rocktails all the way to 99. Hope I've explained that okay for you. I realise this is quite confusing, so if you've got any questions then leave them in the comment section below. The XP per fish, as you can see, it really benefits later on when you use bonfires. Those are the ones in brackets. Rocktails are only 225, but if you put them onto a bonfire you get 250.8 actually. So it is a big difference, so I'd highly recommend obviously using a bonfire. Again, Alcaraj, Grand Exchange or Berthorpe are your best locations. Alright, okay, so now that I've covered the more efficient ways, they're not necessarily the slowest ways in the game. You can do a lot slower, but those are the best money-wise and also time-wise. I'm going to show you a really fast method here. This is creating wine. Now with this method you will lose a lot of money. You'll lose around about 6,500 per inventory now. Used to be a lot higher actually, but grapes and jugs of water have dropped. So what you want to do is fill up your inventory with half grapes, half jug of water. If obviously you've got urns in your inventory as well, then do 13 and 13, and then basically what we're going to be doing is making unfragmented wine. So this can gain you up to 700,000 XP an hour, which is an awful lot. If you were to do this all the way to 99, then you could do it actually in less than 20 hours, which is absolutely amazing for a 99. However, as I said, there is quite a lot of money loss, and also the fact that there's not always a large quantity of jugs of water or a large quantity of grapes in the GE. But all you want to do is, once you've got an inventory set up similar to like mine, all you want to do is use the grapes on the jug of water, and then come here and create unfragmented wines. Select 14. It only says 1 XP here, and this is quite the strange thing. So I'm going to brew these up here. An inventory doesn't take very long. Roughly a jug is just over a second. And what is going to happen here anyway is that if we wait a few seconds, it's going to go and it's going to ripen up, because wine actually, if you don't know in real life, actually has to like ripen up and actually become rich and all that. And then after a few seconds, not at all sure how long it is, it will actually change. And as you see there, I got a large XP drop there of about 5,000 I think it was. This is actually a really good method if you have unlimited money to go for it, because obviously if you set yourself up with a preset, I've not, but say you have, for example, set yourself up with a preset, then you'd be off, going straight away again, and also the fact as well you don't actually have to wait on the wines ripening up. You can go straight onto second inventory, and while you're doing that next inventory, the XP drop you will get, so you don't have to wait around or anything like that. It's a really good method. As long as you can get the items, of course, actually money's not a problem, then go for it, because wines is probably the fastest method of training cooking in the game. What you require for this is 35 cooking, and you need to be near a bank. There's also a possibility of making a jug of badge wine. This is where you will receive no XP or little XP. This is similar to like a burnt sort of thing. However, once you get past a certain level, maybe around 15, 16, it rarely happens. However, I do not believe that there is a level where you will stop making bad jugs of wine. At level 99, I've tried this now for about 100 jugs, and I seem to have not got one bad jug of wine. Okay, that's about as much as I can actually say for cooking. Cooking in a sense is actually quite a basic skill. Obviously it's just you taking food from the bank. I'd recommend obviously using a preset and then using it on a fire, portable range or cooker, cooking it and then rebanking and repeat. Very quite basic, very quite boring also. That's why I'd recommend going to these places like Shanty Pass, where there are loads of people who you can talk to. Obviously if you want to as well, talk to people, then you come into my friends chat as well. There's not much more I can say really about this skill, but good luck with getting your 99. One or two final notes I want to say as well. Cooking raw sweet corn is one not too bad method which you can do from lower levels. From around about 35 you can get about 130 to 40k per hour, and at times you can actually make quite a nice profit on sweet corns. And also as well, making curries. Curries are an alternative from swordfish if you are training fish via the efficient methods. The only thing about curry is that there's a wee bit of a buy limit I believe on them in the Grand Exchange. However, they give so much more experience than swordfish, so that's maybe worth investigate if you're really bored in swordfish as well. However, I'm not covering these two in a lot of detail just because I don't feel they're actually that significant or useful, because I would have put them in the main guide. Once you do finally get to level 99, then what you want to do is head out to Cooking Guild, which is south of the Grand Exchange, to get your 99 escape there. Do remember though that you have to have a chef's hat to enter, and inside you can talk to the master chef and get your quest gate for 99,000 coins. That's all for this guide, guys. This is my first 99 guide, so tell me how I did. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I can maybe bring you another few 99 guides in the future. If you check out some of my other videos on my channel, I do quest guides. I'm right now doing a road to maxscape, and also do some mini game guides and loads of different videos about RuneScape. So make sure you leave a like rating, subscribe, and I'm out. Adios.